Hello, I'm Gary Raze of Remax Integrity here in Lane County. And I'm hearing some rumors that it's starting to cool off. Cool off, does that mean in the market? Well, sort of, but it's also starting to cool off weather-wise. Today we're going to talk about getting your house ready for this upcoming fall. And now back to our topic. We're going to talk about getting your house ready for the fall. Well, we know that there's a lot of things that have to happen, and I got a few notes here that I might want to share with you. The first thing is, let's talk about the gutters. The gutters, as you know, if they plug up, it causes all kinds of problems, and if the gutters plug up to where the waters run over the gutters, that can damage your siding, and we don't want that. By the way, a little trick that I learned the hard way is, if you'll take one of your kitchen spatulas, and if it's narrow enough, you can use that to scoop out the gutters as opposed to your hand, because you'll cut yourself up pretty well if you try to do it with just your hands. So use a spatula from the kitchen. Don't tell a missus if you happen to be the guy. All right, so that would be one thing. Be sure that the water behind the gutters is not coming down either, and that if it is, that's because your gutters are not being protected with an overlap, and you may need to adjust your gutter a little bit to make sure that there's no water seeping from behind the gutter. Also, repair or any loose or damaged windows or door frames. Go ahead and get those sealed up, because you don't notice that they're leaking during the summertime and spring, but you'll certainly know about it in the wintertime, where it may be too late for you to go out and take care of that stuff. Make sure that your furnace is in good running condition, and also change those filters. That's a big deal. The last thing you want to have happen is something go wrong during the winter time or the fall, and because you didn't take care of a maintenance issue. Also, if you have a chimney, you might want to, this is the perfect time to get that chimney inspected to make sure that there's no creosote built up before you start building fires. That's a very big safety issue. Also, clean, if for some people they like to clean the ducts on their, if they've got forced air, and that's an issue where it helps not only with the breathing scenario, but it also makes sure that there's no issues with leaking ducts and this type of thing. So if you have a professional come in and clean those ducts, that's a smart way to get ready. On the plumbing, make sure that you get those outside faucets covered with a styrofoam cup that goes over it. It's very simple, and make sure that you do not leave any hoses connected, because that's where your problems will start on a hard freeze. That if you have a hose that's connected, that can cause some real issues. Also, let's see what other things here. Let's talk about the yard a little bit. Now is the time that you want to go ahead and clean up all the debris, do the pruning. If you have a lot of landscaping out there, get the pruning done now, and then be sure that you go ahead and do the fertilization for your grass. This is the time to fertilize. So just so you know, trim any tree limbs that are dangerously close to power lines. Obviously, if they're close to your power lines, you make sure that your ladder is not real close as well. You're just going to have to think that through a little bit. So those are just some simple things to take care of. Remember to also make sure that the vents underneath your house, don't plug those up. The house has to breathe underneath, so don't plug those up thinking you're saving some heating costs. So make sure that it's rodent free, that there's no opening where varmints can get in. They like to get in where it's warm as well. So until next time, this is Gary Raze of Remax Integrity, and I'll see you soon in 2 weeks. You take care.